Welcome back, folks. So today we're going to take a look here at the Wolfbox G840S. This is a very unique dash cam. Essentially, it's like a mirror that fits over your existing mirror, and on the back of it, we have a 4K forward-facing camera, and we also have a 1080p rearward-facing camera, as well as a GPS unit as well. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this all works in terms of the setup and the results that we get out of it. So in this video, I'm going to go through basically everything that you would expect to go through when you get this yourself. And we'll go through the whole setup and getting it going, and we'll see what the results are with the footage that we get. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and set this up on the Workbench. But one thing we're going to do here to set this up is we'll go ahead and we'll stop the camera because anytime it powers up in your car, it's just going to go ahead and automatically start filming. So that's a good thing. You don't have to worry about it once it's all set up and good to go. We can go through this and adjust the settings how we want. So we have the ability to adjust the brightness here. We can also go over and if we want to just take like a still photo, we can do that. We can also adjust whether we want the microphone on or off. And then we can also play back video files directly here right on the screen, which is pretty cool. And then we have the ability here, again, let's stop filming there. We have the ability to adjust all of our settings. So typically you would do this in the car once you have it powered up. You just need to go through all this and kind of set up things the way you want. There's 2 gigabytes of internal memory on this dash cam here, so it'll remember all of your settings as you need to. So what resolution you want to do, I'm going to leave it in 4K and go with that, for the max resolution. The display modes, whether we want a split screen, or we can do this forward-facing cam, or we can do the rear cam. So we can also go to the sound recording here, on or off, as we need to. Loop recording, if we want to do that, because pretty much what it will do is it'll record all these video files of, you can pick between 1, 2, 3 minutes. I don't think there's another option there. So you got 3 choices there in terms of setting that up. And it'll just keep recording video files to the SD card until it runs out of room. And then it will start basically recording over the oldest files. And then we have a G sensor here. So just like I just bumped my tripod right there, you can kind of set it adjusting to, what is most important to you, in terms of the sensitivity of it. Totally up to you. You can even turn it off. There's a fatigue reminder. Wi-Fi, if you want to get into that, you can do that. Adjusting the volume, screensaver, screen brightness, and exposure. So pretty much I'm just going to leave it on the factory settings. And then you have other things that you can do in here to kind of adjust it how you would like, with the mirror, flipping the rear cam. So for instance, depending on how it's mounted, it may be a thing where you've got to flip it around so it records kind of the right side up. It'll give you a reversing line actually, so this is interesting. And then also too, we have a GPS display. If you connect the GPS, speed, time, all that sort of thing, you can go ahead and adjust, set the time, all that. So pretty much what you got to do when you first get this is just go through, select each one, pick out what you want, and just go with that. Now, a few things you'll need to think about whenever you go to set this up is, one is the GPS module here. What they recommend to do is to go ahead and put this on the dash over on the passenger side. The other thing you want to make sure you would do with this is do not place it on where the airbag would deploy from. So it's usually pretty obvious. There's usually a faint line or something where the airbag sits. So just have that awareness. But there's also a diagram in the instructions too. And then this runs all the way back to the main mirror dash cam to plug that in. You don't have to use the GPS if you don't want to. Totally up to you. But it'll give speed and your current location, all that sort of stuff in the mirror, and then also in the videos it records. So up to you if you want to use that. Now I've also gone ahead and set up the rear camera here for the way that I need to. And I had to, there's another piece that comes with it. So I took the other piece off. This is for outside of the vehicle. You can also discard this also if you want to use the sticky pad directly onto the camera. That might work better for your setup. But anyways, since I'm not putting it outside, I'm putting it inside on the rear window. Essentially, I used the other bracket here to get that all set up for that. So it'll end up kind of being placed like that on the rear window. The other thing too is the red wire here. You can also wire this into the rear light in terms of whenever you go to put the car in reverse, it'll go ahead and trigger the rear camera in the mirror. Again, totally up to you if you want to do that or not. Now, installation here is really simple. Pretty much with these little rubber things here, and also too, you can grab them at two different spots, either here or here. This is the smaller size. I use the bigger size, and there's essentially these silicone hooks here. So one here, one here. So you take one of the rubber straps, put it over your mirror, and then same thing for the other side here and around here. So pretty much this goes right over your mirror with those two little bungee cords. So pretty easy. Your power cord goes in right here. The rear camera goes in right here. SD card goes in right here. And then if you want to use the GPS, it plugs in right there. Now, for me, for right now, probably the best thing to do in most cases is to run the wires up underneath the windshield right here, and then down and across and then up to your pretty much where you plug into your cigarette lighter. So you can do that. Probably for me right now, I'm just running them pretty much straight down. And then at some point I might come back and redo that, but that's pretty much the way I'm running it. And then let's go ahead and turn it on here. Now, whenever you fire this up here for the first time, so you can go into your display modes here, and so you can go ahead and around here where the camera is, you can go ahead and adjust that how you best think you need it to be. And then same thing also with the rear cam. So pretty easy. You just go into that menu there and go to the display modes and just check it out and just have a look to make sure everything is looking good and how you want it to be. And if you need to make any little micro adjustments, you can from there. Now, whenever I mounted my rear camera, I placed it here. And so we'll see how the camera view looks great from here. I did make a little goof whenever I went to place it. I kind of got it a little bit off. You can see it's not perfectly straight. Camera view still looks good. If you goof it up or whatever, just get like a plastic razor blade and gently work it. There's also there's a spare pad in there as well. And also 3M double-sided tape works good. So I'm not sure. I might leave it here. I might move it up. But for right now, it's working here pretty good. The other thing, too, there's the red wire that you can hardwire it into your rear light. So that's something down the road that I could look at doing, too. Now, probably the biggest thing that you'll have to do is figure out where you want to run the wires. and taking a little bit of time to do that. There's also some little sticky tabs that hold wires also that came in the kit. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is running it down low and putting it under that mat there. You can also run it up high. That is definitely an option for a lot of cars. For me, I don't really, this is pretty much like a travel car, so I don't really need to, I don't have anybody that really sits back here most of the time, so pretty much it's a thing where probably I'll just run it low and then run it up alongside the seat here. So that is one thing, got to kind of figure out, you know, where you're going to run the wires, but it's not that big a deal really. And then here's how it looks from the front. You can see the bungee cords extending around my original mirror there, and also the camera here pointing out front. So in the end, folks, definitely check these out. If you're looking for a mirror type dash cam with different features that this one has with the rear view and the front view, in the end, I found it easier to install than I thought. You know, really, I mean, especially putting it over the mirror literally takes about 15 seconds. And then once you get the camera lined up and all that, you know, pretty much within 2 or 3 minutes, you can get that part going. And then the next part will be running that rear camera back and placing that, and kind of figuring out where you're going to run the wire and all that. But in the end, pretty simple overall. Also, too, I find with the menu and all that, everything is pretty much intuitive in terms of, you know, going through all that and deciding, you know, what display mode that you're going to use when you're driving around, and you know, all the different, like what resolution you want to use and all that sort of stuff. Very easy to access through the menu there, simple to use. So definitely check this Wolfbox dash cam out, folks, if you're looking for something over the mirror. And yeah, give it a go.